Welcome to PSI TV, where we give the small business a big presence. And here in our Christian and Money segment, I have an amazing guest for you. Sean Hyman is with me. He's not just an amazing person who I'll give you the rundown on in a little bit. He's also my dear friend. Sean, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be with you.
Great. So Sean Hyman is an investment newsletter editor, and he has more than 25 years of experience working with companies like Charles Schwab, Forex Capital Markets, you may know that as FXCM, Newsmax, Agora, and the Sovereign Society. Sean speaks nationally and internationally on growing your investments, which is why I had him here today. And he has shared this stage with Steve Forbes and Jim Rogers, to name a few. Steve Forbes, right?
Yes.
Got that right. Good job. All right. So on the topic of investing, he's been interviewed on CNBC, Fox Business, Fox News, MSNBC, BNN in Canada, Fox and Friends, Bloomberg TV, and more, including our show. Sean is the author of 2 financial books and lives near Dallas, Texas. Sean, I really appreciate you being with us today.
Good to be with you.
All right, so Sean, with this rich resume, what are you up to now? What investment newsletter are you editing at this time?
Yeah, I'm doing the Logical Investor newsletter, and you can find it at logicalinvestor.net. And we're just enjoying, I'm teaching investors all around the globe, all different age demographics, male, female, you name it, and just enjoying teaching them how to invest. Some of them are beginning investors, some of them are very, seasoned, experienced investors, but want more affirmation from somebody that's been doing it a long time. And so they just get to look over my shoulder while I give buy and sell recommendations.
Very good, very good. And what, in this wide world of investing, what would you say is your specialty, your niche, your superpower?
Yeah, we invest in stocks and ETFs, and in particular, ones that have been beaten down and overly hated, where the sentiment is just atrocious, yet they're companies with strong balance sheets and very solid fundamentally and very cheap fundamentally, but usually the news will be bad and they'll be out of favor and out of step with the market. So very much much like a Warren Buffett type approach.
Yeah, Warren Buffett type approach, but you have a little holy sprinkle on yours, because we know that you are a Christian and that you use Christian principles as well as you evaluate these opportunities. Okay, so
Absolutely.
Sean, there's a COVID pandemic that's been going on right now. I'm not an expert like you are, but I would say it has interrupted the normal economic projections had there been no COVID. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, a lot of companies, when I've seen them reporting earnings, normally give forward guidance saying, hey, we think we're going to hit these numbers. We think we'll be at these valuation levels. And many of those have just thrown those out and said, look, we're not even giving forward guidance because we don't even know for sure what's going to happen. And that's the first time in my 25 to 30 years that I've ever seen that happen. So it's definitely a very different environment, one that we still function nicely in, but for the average investor out there, I think it's very tough. Absolutely.
And as we talk about that, it really speaks to the idea of a climate, if you want to say, a climate base, an economic climate change, similarly to how our weather seasons do. But we also in our weather have these surprise anomalies like hurricanes, and in our case now, COVID. So while I don't want you to speak so much about the current times, because who knows when a listener will listen to this show, what would you suggest as a way for the average investor to get some kind of guidance on a day-by-day basis or a month-by-month, season-by-season basis to make their investing decisions?
Yeah, so we in addition to having an investment strategy, we have a money allocation strategy to where we invest in 3 different tranches. And so really, we're able to have some cash set aside for things like, the unexpected, like what we're going through right now. And even things that are expected, like when valuations get too high and you expect markets to correct and to come down. So really, we've got money there set aside for the unexpected. And we actually like it when positions temporarily retrench because we can get in at lower levels. So I remember hearing Warren Buffett years ago saying, I like it when my stocks go down. And people think, what the heck? Did we just catch that right? Or is he getting senile? No, he likes it when his stocks go down because he bought something at already a cheap value. And he's got some cash strategically set aside because he knows he probably didn't catch the bottom. And as that goes down, he can get lower cost basis, and his return is actually ultimately higher. So he gets market beating returns strategically that way. And that's some of what we do in the Logical Investor as well.
Yeah, but a lot of scared people would have exited at the wrong point. So one
Absolutely.
of the things about the Logical Investor, guys, because I know, because I have been a consumer of that, is that Sean gives you those buy and sell signals, like he says, so you have a better idea of what to be in, when to get out, and when to go back in again, that kind of a thing. So Sean, you've authored 2 books. Tell us what they are and where the listener can access those.
Yeah, the first one is 6 Keys to Financial Success. And that one I really wanted to talk about what the Bible has to say about money, because you'll only hear about so much of what the Bible has to say about money in church. And that's okay. They've only got so much time to work with. But there's so much more, even in addition to tithes and offerings, that the Bible talks about concerning our money, that the average Christian probably has never even heard from a pulpit. And so I put together that very inexpensive book just so anybody could have access to it. And it's called The 6 Keys to Financial Success. And they can go to logicalinvestor.net and click on the store tab and find it there. But that's where they'll learn about biblical financial mindedness and how God sees how we should structure our money and how we should steward things. And then the other book is called Option Trading Demystified. And so that one is really was birthed out of, I've read a gazillion option books, and I always felt like they were so complex and so numeric heavy, and really you needed to almost be seasoned before reading those books. And I thought, where's something out there that's simple and easy for the beginner option investor to understand? And so that's where Option Trading Demystified came about. It's probably the easiest option book read you'll find out there, in my opinion.
I've actually gifted that book to a couple of people who, young men who I thought, there are 2 in particular I'm thinking about that have thanked me repeatedly for helping them start their financial life in the right way. And I have definitely gifted them your book. So that's definitely
awesome.
An idea for those of you who are listening in, and your young ones coming up and want to train them the right way. And definitely one of the things they should be doing with their money is investing. And Sean's book helps them to figure out how from a beginner standpoint. So that's awesome. Sean, is there anything else you want to share with us before we wrap up?
Well, investing, can seem daunting, and it's like, where do you start? And I teach people where to start, how to start. We've got one subscriber that she testified yesterday on the forum that she's taking her 15-year-old daughter through the newsletter, and she's starting to make her own investments and make her own investment gains. So literally a child is going through the newsletter and having success with it. So even if somebody says, man, investing is like another language, or it's Greek to me, that's a great niche person to come to the Logical Investor, start from square one and learn how to successfully invest, and really to have the right type of thinking that's needed in investing as well.
Perfect. Now, I knew you threw out one of the websites earlier, but just help listeners know how to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to logicalinvestor.net and you'll find everything from the free section of the investing basics that we've got, and also the subscription newsletter in the members area tab as well.
And the shopping for the books.
Yes, and that'll be in the store tab. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for being my amazing guest today in the Christian and Money segment of PSI TV. Thank you so much, Sean.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me on.